Good morning and welcome to another edition of Roadhouse Live. We are live. Today is the 13th. And as Freeman said, today is game day. Today is a day that you strap on the chin strap just a little bit tighter. You get amped up just a little bit more. You get ready for the big moment in time to where you get candle, high tick, low tick, what tick, tick, go tick yourself. That is the day that we have in front of us on this particular day.
Really? Go tick yourself.
Go tick yourself. Go
Okay.
tick yourself.
That's a
Correct.
new one.
Yeah, well, gotta be creative around here, man.
That's what happened when you do them.
Gotta. So as we ponder ticking ourselves, we continue to melt, and I mean melt higher. If there's a red candle, it gets bought before it turns up red. Everything is lining up to where, from a Nasdaq standpoint, I don't see any reason why we don't do all-time highs today. If Powell, acts right, we do it. Um, we do have a couple of phantoms upside on SPY uh, for 65.75, so another 50 cents up, or where those phantoms are coming in back to back. But we also have a fairly hefty, I won't say hefty, but a decent amount of phantoms to the downside that should be acknowledged at the same time much lower on the Qs. So we got that going for us. Look at that, QQQ over 400. Wow. Makes you think. Definitely makes you think. You got anything good going on? I don't have anything. I'm waiting for this game to begin. I'm waiting for the game. I'm waiting for the rate announcement. That's going to be no rate announcement. I'm waiting for Powell to say whatever he's going to say, and that's what I'm waiting for. Now, Bender, would you ask me what I think is going to happen or no?
What do you think is going to happen, Hells?
I think that the market is like, oh, well, obviously all of this is priced in. That's what I think. Obviously, the rate increase not happening is priced in. Um, I think where it gets interesting is going to be within his speech and what he says. I put the odds of anybody being able to interpret him as being dovish, meaning, the economy is kind of weakening. We might need to be accommodative, blah, 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 blah. No, 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 no. That's like one of those things that you won't say it, but in your mind be like, I cut off my own fucking nuts if this dude comes out and says that. I would literally cut him off. That's how confident I am that he won't. Not saying that I'm going to say that, but just saying that one could say that in a situation like this. So the odds of that happening, I'm going to put it at pretty much zero. Him coming out dovish. There is, in some capacity, reasons for him to come out a little bit hawkish. If you're being an honest broker and looking at it, you could be a little bit hawkish. You could be a little bit, hey man, it's like employment is holding well, economy's holding well, everything's holding well. Um, there's absolutely no reason in any capacity to lower rates at this juncture, right? Maybe we get some dot plots and somebody can say, oh, dot plot, let's go tick ourselves. Maybe that happens. Maybe it doesn't. Either way, it's like, Bender, I'll let you show some charts that are about to rip all-time highs, and that'll be good. We can do that. We can look at massive overextension to the upside. We can do that. We can look at all these gaps sitting below on the NASDAQ that, in theory would need to be filled. We can do that if you want. But right now, it is blatantly obvious that these cats, as of, Monday, are like, nope, we're playing shoots and ladders to the upsides, until the trade is over.
Yep.
Maybe the trade ends at 2:45 today. But right now, the trade is on. Trade is on. Trade has been on. What happens after he speaks and get off the mic, and when they go back and they count all their fat finger nickels and being like, well, what do we do now? It's like, oh, yeah, no, it's probably going to wake up and sell. So yeah, why don't you chart us up? Then we can get Sonny and he can cut through his business, and Stonks can cut through his business, and we can get into the day and wait for the moment in time to where we must all take ourselves.
You're just looking forward to that part.
You know, it's like, how could you not be excited about picking, right?
Well, I'm not exactly sure like what it means, so it's hard to be excited about it. Like I don't know.
Isn't that what dreams are made of? Ticking oneself to no end?
I don't think that's accurate. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, the first thing I want to look at here is just a quick glance at the daily here. I've got ES, NASDAQ, and Dow futures. And what sticks out to me is that if we kind of line this cursor up, you can see that the Dow has taken out its highs from, was that July 19th? You can see that it's taken that high, NASDAQ. And the Dow has as well. In fact, it just popped above it. ES has not done that yet, right? So I want to be mindful that, maybe ES has to catch up. Like you said, every red candle gets bought, every dip gets bought. We talked about that yesterday. There are some levels below that I would like to see filled in, but until you get some sort of market structure shift, the direction is still up, right? So, if you're looking at this going, well, it can't go much higher, it can't go much higher. Yeah, it can. It can. Don't jump in front of it.
No, look, it's like, think about it, Benner. If we blow the top on the NASDAQ, that's blue skies. What always happens with blue skies?
What always happens with blue sky? Somebody's ticking their keyboard over there.
I think that's Sonny. He's got one of those big geriatric keyboards, I think.
Yeah, I mean, you can get, obviously you can get a scenario where, NASDAQ gets up into that blue skies territory and everything else kind of plays catch up. And I'm just watching, again, the fact that we have 2 of the 3 that have taken those previous highs, again, from back in July. And, we talked about the midpoint of this channel on ES yesterday, and we're right here. We're right up against it. So it pops through that. Maybe you get that overshoot up above this previous high, that 47.34.5, and up into the top of this channel. If I zoom out, I showed this yesterday too. If I zoom out, actually, we talked about this. I don't even know what. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, looking at these fibs right here. If this plays out, if we draw from this low, that 37.11.5, to this high up here, 47.30.75, we put fibs on that and we go, okay, well, this was a 50% retracement, and now it has, recovered. They bought where they needed to buy in here. That puts the 1272 extension up over 5K, 5,008. So not that will necessarily play out, but the setup is there. It could. You can see this big fair value gap here on the daily on ES that comes in 45.49.75. And again, like we talked about yesterday, all this liquidity stacked right in here, 45.95. So that's about 110 down from here to like take that out, right? You can see these candles, these daily candles, leaving fair value gaps behind. This one's a pretty big one. I marked out this now volume imbalance here on the daily. So on a dip, I'd look for this to get filled. It wouldn't be necessarily meaningful if it just comes down and fills this in, 46.80, and then continues to the upside. Again, right now, every single dip is being bought. So I'm not looking necessarily for that to happen, but you are right up against this midpoint. It's just something to be aware of. It does want to continue north. You get that previous high, 47.34.5. And above that, there really isn't, if I go back to the daily, there isn't really anything that was left behind. So that puts the next hunt, so to speak, right there. 48, what is that? 48.60.25. So that's about 150 up if it wants to continue this push. Maybe it goes and takes that out. So that's kind of the bigger picture look. Makes sense on the daily there. Any questions? Hells?
He got ticked.
He got ticked. He's off ticking himself already. All right. So zooming into the 15-minute.
I have questions. I have questions. I have
okay.
questions. I was hitting the wrong button. Question.
Oh,
What happens next?
we go up forever until we don't. I don't know.
Until we don't.
Let's see what this meeting brings.
It's weird. It is weird. Yeah. Carry on.
So this blue box down here is where that volume imbalance sits. And you can see, these 15-minute candles just kind of creating this level of quote unquote support after breaking through quote resistance. On a pullback, see if this area now acts as support, and then it wants to go take out that level above that we were showing. If it breaks below this 47.01.25 and that becomes resistance and it starts making lower lows, then I would look for some of this to get filled in down here. But last thing I'll mention is that we are set up for potential seek and destroy type activity today. As you can imagine, you can see that we have taken out both the highs and lows from the Asia session, just barely on the low side, but certainly have taken out the highs, and it sets up that possibility.
What's that area down there, Bender? What's the number at the bottom of that consolidation?
That is right around 4,700.
47. Okay.
Yep. That's about all I got.
Bender says that's all he has. Sonny, what you got, buddy?
Morning, everyone. So JP Morgan, so Google was, took a hit on that, losing the case with the Epic Games about the App Store. So Google, JP Morgan came out. Google is their 2024 top pick with a price target of 160. Yesterday, you commented on that Calm was getting puts where everybody else was getting calls. So news came out after hours, avian flu. So it took a little bit of a dip yesterday. So those puts would be nicely green if anybody picked those up. Pfizer had an event today. They're guiding down for the 2024. They were down about 10% pre-market. And Moderna probably going to do the same thing. Moderna, their CFO quit. There could be some action there. Tesla also had some news regarding the updated guidelines for qualifications for the rebate, the 7,500 EV rebate. The Model 3 long range and rear wheel drive does not qualify for any of it. Earlier, there was some assumption that, it'll be 3,750 they can get back. As of yesterday, you don't get anything back on that starting Jan 2024. So the Google file that, the last Epic Game, that could spill over to Apple. Apple did make a nice move this morning, but I think if that news catches on, if Google doesn't appeal and whatnot, we could see some spillover. So check the Apple flow. UK is looking to cap MasterCard Visa cross-border interchange fees. They can't just, as the rates or the foreign exchange fee go up, they can keep charging more and more. So there's going to be a limit to it. China had their Central Economic Work Conference that finished yesterday. There were a lot of hope that there'll be more stimulus. They're going to pump more money in to prop up the market and their economy. But none of that happened. the focus is on industrial production, but not as much on the property market or boosting domestic consumption. Bank of Japan announced their bond buying operation. Again, they're leaving that unchanged, no changes there. We are focused on JPOD today, our markets. But so tomorrow, the European markets have their meetings. ECB, Bank of England, Norway, and Swiss National Bank, they all come out with their rate decisions tomorrow. So European markets kind of stayed muted. Asian markets were good. India was up. China and Hong Kong were down based on no stimulus from the Chinese government. Argentina devalued its currency by about 54%. So IMF likes that. They can pay off the debt, do more for their people, things like that. Yeah, and that's it. And, we just watch what JPOS is.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Sonny. Very exciting stuff. Groundbreaking. Now we get Stonks with his groundbreaking. Break the ground, Stonk.
We're gonna smash that ground. Let's check where we are in Smashland. Long Larry is kicking back, counting his money. We've been talking about it. So this candle here was a smash day long when we broke this high. Again, it failed breakout, closed below prior day's low. So Long Larry got in here. So he's up, nicely. 4 or 5 points there on SPY. And now we keep closing above the prior day's high. So I just keep setting alerts on the prior day's low, which again, failed breakouts. If we broke that low, that would be the smash day for the downside on the SPY. We'll do the same on the Qs, update it. And Larry would be there. Getting short if we broke yesterday's low. And then the last would maybe be here. He would have taken that long with a stop below, just because we closed below prior day's low, just barely, maybe over there on Q. IWM still in this range, still got a alert set for the break below this low, but it's kind of looking like, we had this kind of flag type thing over here. It's kind of looking like another maybe flag over there on the IWM for more, especially, where everyone else is pressing all-time highs and the IWM's down here. It's got some work to do when we zoom out. So kind of see what we get, but the alert is set for this low because this was the last candle that closed outside prior day's range. Kind of what we got over there on the IWM. So if we take a look at the NASDAQ, I'm going to use the continuous contract because the March contract, we've already, taken out everything above. So we had this high, we took it. We talked about it yesterday that it started to work as support. We consolidated on that previous high right here, and then we popped. So here we've got yellow boxes or gold or whatever is going to be daily fair value gaps. So this one would fill up here, 16,693.50. That'd be next upside target. And then the bottom of it is here below that 16,583 on the NASDAQ. So that would be kind of interested to see if we lose that. Then you can see this is kind of a 4-hour gap here with room down to this level, 16,534.25 would fill in to the top of that candle. Then we've got that previous high. And then again, yellow boxes below, daily fair value gaps if we really start pushing. And then you can see I have this marked up. There'd be a bunch of stops sitting right there all the way down at 16,259. You can see this is one of those, let's stop out bull and push it. They did it by a tick, but I would still be anticipating there'd be something down there if we have to come get it. If we just keep cruising, orange box would be weekly fair value gap above. Just going to kind of see what we get. Waiting on Powell. Jump over to the Russell. Got this kind of, we're in this setup that's getting pretty tight here, not necessarily needing to take it as a short, but, kind of looks like a rising wedge at the moment with these trend lines on here. This 1910.9, I have that marked up because you can see just the candle bodies all rejecting. We had our daily level where we knew there would be a bunch of bear stops, and we took those here. Gold boxes again are going to be daily fair value gaps above. Below, I've got a couple things marked up here. There's going to be stops sitting here, this low and this low. And then I've got this fair value gap from this candle's low to that one marked up. Kind of easier to see if we do it on the hourly here. You can just see this has become a important area. So we've got the top of it would be these stops. So I'd be interested to see what they do with it if we bring it down to 1887.4. And then again, we'd have stops inside the box, this low and this low. And you can see for whatever reason, this, we bounced against the bottom of this box. We've been holding against the top. So that's kind of why I have that one marked up. If we give that up, below is going to be weekly gap, which fills all the way down here, 1836.6, which, yeah, that'd be kind of a explosive move for the Russells. Usually kind of, like this was a rare occurrence, was that Friday where we had that rip. So we'll see what we get. Maybe Powell can get us moving in one way or the other. What else we got going on today? We got a double inside bar on the daily on coin, and Sonny had a headline in the room. But I don't know. I have to go back and read exactly what it said. Coinbase to offer spot crypto trading outside the U.S. So we'll see if there's any reaction here. We've got key level, just basically marked up yesterday's high a day. Originally yesterday I was using this fib here, the 618 retracement, and that is, if we zoom way out, that's the fibs on this daily range. I just picked this high to this low, and you can see we're kind of bouncing around the 618 fib, which would be these bears, kind of seeing that level. So that's kind of where those fibs came from. Above, going to be watching this 141.65. You can see key level, and then we had, I didn't move this one at all. We gave, this was yesterday's low that we gave pre-market, 136.15. So just going to kind of see what we get on coin. I think, it can have really good range, just has to break out of this little chop zone. And then the other one is going to be what we've all been waiting for weeks now, is Tesla breaking out of this range. So we've got 237.50 key level above. We need to see it get above and hold that for long. And then below, we've got this 231.05. You can see that's been a key level for quite a while. If we get down there, I'd be interested to see what they do with it. Kind of got like a little bit of a head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. But we'll see what we get. And I think that is all I've got.
Very nice. All right. So a couple of things. Apple has potential gap fill just above from I think Monday, when it just shat at the open, just before the open. They dumped it a couple of bucks. So the Apple has gap fill up in there. We have Powell today, which is probably going to be one of the most important speeches, and the reaction to that speech that we've seen in a long while, especially when we're trading up against all-time highs, like we kind of are in through here. So I think for the day, it's like, be aggressive where you can, be patient where you can, and overall just be smart. I don't really have a whole lot to say other than flow continues to lean bullish. Any effort to short this move gets you wrecked. You can grab a couple of points here and there, but it's like when it decides to start grinding, no matter what the chart looks like, right? They will grind it up and through whatever bearish setup exists. They'll just grind it. That's been all week long. I think going back from last Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, and here we go. The grind is on. Grind has been on. So the question is, what happens next? I guess we'll find out about 2:45 today, 3 o'clock, when Powell is in the middle of his conversation as far as which way do we go. That's all I got, fellas. You guys have anything else you want to add in?
Nope.
Good on my end.
Good. Very good.
Good.
We'll see you guys soon. Thanks, guys.
No ticking yourself.
No. I think I'm over it for the moment.
All right. We'll see you soon.